Hello, guys. Good to see you again.
Hi.
We're welcoming you. We're coaches, we're friends, we're masterminding together. We've met in TIR program, and each one of us has different specialty, but we get together. We have amazing power of creation. And today we want to talk with you about decision making, but not the common decision, not the decisions that we do daily. I invite you with my friends to talk about decision for life, decision of changing your life and the basis of this decision and the um, basic issues of these decisions um, and we want to share with you how is it to make this decision, how this process looks like, and what is accompanying making this decision. And we want to talk about it because we all have gone through something like that through this process. It's a process, it's not just a moment, it's not an aha moment, it's not an explosion, nothing like that. It's a process. We all have gone through something like that. And additionally, Michaela have some nice discoveries about it, and we're fresh about it, and we want to share it with you. Go on, Mich.
Yeah, as you told Camilla, yeah, we have work on, so we supported each other. So when one of us are coming to a challenge and need help, so everybody in our group is for helping each other and and to make progress in the things we want to reach. So, and I worked with Camilla on Friday, and that I realized that I somehow have to make a decision. And when you make a decision, not like what do you want to eat right now or something like that, really a decision where you feel, and that was where I am somehow right now. I am make a decision for my life, where I want to go on my path. So and I'm feeling this fear inside, and I really don't know. I really don't know somehow if this fear is somehow my paradigm, so my inside voice that want to keeps me safe at the place where where I am right now, where I'm feeling safe and I know everything. So um or is it the fear, is it the fear of not to make a mistake, somehow like that. So that is what somehow everybody of us is realizing when we make a decision. And I feel myself, and I ask myself, so is it the paradigm, the voice in myself that want to hold me back because I'm safe right here right now, or or um I don't feel connected with my higher self. So, and when I am in my higher self, or even ask myself that what I decide help, because that's what I want to do. I want to serve the people, and I want to do things somehow in the right way for most of the people I'm connected, or for mostly everybody I'm connected with. And that's somehow the challenge for me right now. And then I make a decision, and I talk to Camilla over about this decision I make. And I have to make it somehow. You have to make a decision, and even when you don't want to be anymore there where you are right now, you have to make a decision to go to another way. And even and really, when you don't know what is there, because you weren't there, you never be there, so you don't know what's coming up there. Is it the right way? And like I do this, I really try to somehow stop this inner voice of myself that told me, oh, that's the wrong path, or maybe you don't reach enough people, or something like that. um I really truly know inside of myself that this decision that I make could help people that really need help. So, and that somehow, while I'm talking, I realize this more and more. And even when I shivering and ask myself, do I have the ability to help these people? I when I go into myself and I try to reconnect with my higher self and my inner self and go inside and don't look at the outside, and even don't listen to this voice inside and really feel deeply inside, and there is the place where the peace is and the light is and the love is, and there I feel the answer. Yes, yes, it's right. I really could help people, even when there are still voices that say, oh, maybe this or that will be happen, or yeah. And I'm so
And
grateful for Camilla that she
n-
helped me.
don't be. I think we are here for each other, and that's what I exactly love to do with each one of you. But I hear you talking about fear. I hear you talking about hesitation. I hear you talking about going out of the comfort zone. You're talking about the key for me is about the decision, and the decision comes exactly from yourself, nowhere else, no advices. Yes, we are talking together about it because I have the knowledge about people's needs, but decision is definitely yours, and definitely comes from inside of you, inside out, like Bob is teaching, right? And that's the key. And what is the most beautiful in what you say for me, Michaela, is that yes, this all is so fearful. It's stressing. It's always about unknown. But all the travelers and all the discoverers were going to unknown spaces, and they discovered the most beautiful miracles of this world, right? What do you think, Bree?
I agree with what you're saying too. And as I was listening to Michaela, it was like you're talking about you were standing on one side, and on the other side is the decision. And you're like, I have to make this decision, but there's this big, chasm in between you and this decision. And you're like, I have to do this. And I could see you on one side talking about it. You could see it, but you were so far away from it. And it was so interesting. Like, and so how do we bridge that gap where you know you make the decision and you are the decision, right? So what I was thinking is I learned this process years ago when I was studying controlled remote viewing, and it's so useful. It's called the set aside process. I looked it up. And it's similar to mirror work, but you talk to yourself like you would to a child to comfort them, and it's like gentle parenting. So for example, if the child wakes up from a nightmare, you ask the child to say what's wrong. So you're doing this with yourself, right? I'm afraid of the monster under the bed. And then you make a deal with your subconscious mind. So if you allow me to set this aside now, I'll be sure to look under the bed once the session is over. So you do this before you're doing a remote viewing session, so your fears don't interfere and color what you're trying to perceive. It keeps your subconscious mind clear so you can access all the information, right? So so then you have to keep your promise. You have to keep these promises to yourself. I find what happens a lot with people, my and clients, is that we make these deals with ourselves and we don't follow through. So we don't end up trusting ourselves over the long term, right? So then you say, for now, I'm not worrying about it. And then you write it down. You write it down as you're saying it. So for now, I'm setting aside um, looking under the bed, looking for the monster under the bed. Okay, so I'll give you, so a lot of things that come up, was that clear? Did you understand the steps? I can go through it again. First, you identify what it is. Let's say it's fear of failure. That's a very common one, I think, for everybody. Okay, so you say, I'm scared of failing. Okay, then you make a deal. Well, that's okay. Let's just set that aside for now, but we're going to do this anyway. I'm going to call, the clients I have on my list today. Okay, so for now, and you can, so for now, I'm setting aside fear of failure. So it's not like you're totally discounting that part of yourself. You're just saying, this is great, but we're going to put this aside and I'm going to do this. And then afterwards, I'll take care of it.
It's so much about acceptance.
So, okay, so here's an example of a session. Like if I'm about to do a session and I don't want anything to interfere, and it has to do with, I'm scared something's going to interrupt. Like, you know how it is before. I'm scared the dogs are going to start barking, right? Before when we do our thing. So I'm getting ready to do a session and I'm sure I'm going to be interrupted. I just have this belief. Okay, but if something happens, I'll make a note that I'm taking a break and I'll just resume my session later. And that will be good. So you say, well, why will this be good if we put it aside? That will be good because I need practice on taking a break. So for now, I'm setting it aside. And for now, and then you write it. For now, I'm setting aside interruptions. Or for now, I'm setting aside fear of failure. Or for now, I'm setting aside XYZ. And it just, you can feel your body and your nervous system just calm down. The tension just goes away because you're taking care of what's arising, and it's really powerful. Very simple, but very powerful.
Adult mature you is talking with you, a child, an inner child. Amazing. It's amazing. And I would love to refer also to what you say about fear of failure. I think one of my biggest discoveries was that actually taking responsibility for yourself, for myself, is agreement, it's permission for making the mistakes and treating them, considering them not as the errors, but as the lessons. And it completely changes the rules of the game, because we understand the failure as the end. And hell, it's not the end. From looking at the failure from this side, not from that side, from the beginning, is simply having another absolutely gorgeous, tailor-made lesson prepared specially for you, for no one else. A lesson that you would not get from any teacher, any.
Yeah, that's true. I want to just, something else came to mind around decision making, and seeing you on one side of the cliff is, the version of you that makes a decision isn't the one that's over here, it's the one that's over here on the other side. So we know this, but we have to remind ourselves, like, the version of us who's already done it, what did she decide? And she's the one that makes the decision, not the one who has the fear, because the one who has the fear is only going to bridge that gap when she feels comfortable and taken care of by the version of you who's already achieved it, when she knows success is assured. Here go the dogs.
Kids are doing some noise, yeah.
And what also coming to my mind is, so if you have this fear of failure, and while you are talking, Camilla, I'm really thinking about this. So if you fail, it is the proof that you are not good enough. And that is the fear of, somehow, if this happens, so that will be the proof that I'm not good enough. Even when I'm thinking, so many people are thinking, I am not good enough. I am not good enough, mom. I'm not good enough to have money, a pocket full of money. I'm not good enough to have a nice husband. I'm not good enough to have good children. I'm not good enough.
No, stop repeating that. Stop repeating that. Let's repeat why we are good enough. We are good enough.
Yeah. So
to be the best parents.
We are good enough. So we have to prove ourselves that we are good enough to have all these things. So, and that's where the fear is coming up, and even when you have proved yourself this in the past, And that's the point somehow, because when you want to do something new, if you want to change yourself, and you have to change, you have to be another person. Like Brie was telling, that is not the person here have the fear, that is the person who decided this. And it's a misunderstanding of the who I am right now. So and it's every time I make a decision to go in another direction, or to do something new I never done before. So with my past experiences, so maybe I have the thought that it happened again in a bad way, and when I decide no, it will be good what I do right now, and it have a good end, so that maybe will be new, and I don't know how it feels like that. So I have to imagine about it. How does it feel when I, so that's, we are coming into this creating process. I have this wish to be this successful person who have successes with the people and be successful. So to be good enough to have this successful business. I am a successful businesswoman. So, and that's the point. You have to change your personality. It needs to be the change into this new being.
But the change, I think,
And
is a small one. Sorry, I just think it's a small change because when you say to change the personality, that just seems so insurmountable. It seems like such a huge thing, and it's not. It's the small changes that we make each moment with each choice, with each decision that either aligns us to what we want or it takes us on a different path. Either way is okay because you always have the opportunity to align yourself. And so you begin to see the choices you're making and how you're continuing to make choices out of fear, or you begin to make choices that are aligned with your desire. And it's the small things. When I look back on my things, it's like it was just one choice. It wasn't this huge thing. It was this one step. And then I'm like, okay, I'm here. And if this doesn't work out, that's great. I've had a lot of practice and I met these people and what I just keep looking for the benefits of everything I'm doing.
Yeah, thank you, Brie, for this, because that's very important. You are so true. And what's coming up to me while you were talking, it's all about the awareness. Again, the key
this is it.
is the awareness. You, without awareness, so the somehow the first step is to train also your awareness about the things, and the decision is a key. So you have several keys inside of decision, of awareness,
Yeah.
to take the next step. What is the next little step to go? What is the next little shift? And yeah, again, you're so true, and I agree so much about this. That's not a huge thing. It's
Yeah.
the little
Yeah. And
one.
what comes to my mind when Michaela was talking about that, and now Brie was clarifying that, I'm reading right now Joseph Murphy's Power of Subconscious Mind, and he gives a beautiful example of Caruso, this singer, beautiful singer, right? And that once Caruso, before going to the scene, had this horrible fear of going out. You know this example, but let's say it to our listeners. And he was thrilled, and he was blocked completely with this fear. What is the name of that in English? The dream?
I don't know, but he couldn't think. So I
He
think
couldn't sing
his
at
voice
all,
is
not a
off.
single sound from his throat. And he realized what is happening with him, and he said to himself, no, the great me will sing right now. I'm not going to allow little me to dictate what am I going to do now. Great me is going to sing. And he went to the scene and sang. And it's the best example for me to show how not a big change it is. Michaela is talking about changing of personality. Uh, El Nightingale is talking about attitude as well as Bob Proctor. And we are talking only about we're talking about this greatest decision, but it's also a very small decision in the moment when it catches you. I decide not to listen to the small me. I'm going to listen to greatest me, the greatest showman. And it completely changed. And Michaela is talking about change of the personality, and this is held true. Because when you start making decisions from the point of greatest you, it's completely different. The decisions are different. There's no fear there. And the feeling is gorgeous. Do you agree? Okay, guys, let's wrap it. It's time to go. Thank you very much for listening. Don't forget to subscribe and push the bell, right? To hear every news from us. And see you soon with a nice, interesting topic. Bye.
Bye.